We are turning to this. Meanwhile, ICE is defending an officer's actions in a California community after an officer shot a man they say was trying to ram him with his car. The victim, they say, had nothing to do with their traffic stop. This all happening in a Los Angeles suburb 35 miles east of LA. And that's where NewsNation correspondent Jorge Ventura is live for us. Jorge, what happened there?
Well, Natasha, that shooting taking place on this block of 2800 Vineyard here in Ontario in Southern California. And according to the Department of Homeland Security, on early Thursday morning, an ICE officer who was fearing for his life fired shots, defensive shots, towards a vehicle that was allegedly reversing towards the direction of agents. According to DHS, that subject then fled the scene, also leaving his vehicle behind. The Department of Homeland Security says that that individual is still unknown. He was not the target. He actually pulled in front of the officers while in the vehicle during a traffic stop. The Ontario Police Department says that the officers were not involved in the initial incident here, but they did respond to a request for emergency assistance from DHS officers regarding an officer-involved shooting. Ontario local law enforcement says that they did respond to the scene, provided traffic control, and provided scene security. But right now, Department of Homeland Security is conducting their own investigation, as well as the FBI is also investigating this incident out of Ontario. In a statement, DHS says, quote, "This is another example of the threats our ICE officers are facing day in and day out as they risk their lives to enforce the law and arrest criminals. ICE officers now face a 1,000% increase in assaults to them, including cars being used as weapons, and death threats against our agents are up 8,000%. This violence must end." Now, Democrat Congresswoman Norma Torres, who represents Ontario, is demanding for full transparency into this DHS officer-related shooting incident, saying in a statement, quote, "ICE has refused to provide my office with official information despite multiple requests. I am personally contacting local hospitals to track the victim." Torres also adding, quote, "Witness statements, body cam footage, security footage, and all relevant information must be released so the public can judge for themselves what really happened." Javier Hernandez is an executive director of the Inland Coalition of Immigrant Justice, spoke to our affiliate KTLA at the scene following the shooting.
There have been many operations in this community, so folks are already living in fear. Now that they're seeing that someone got hurt, that someone might have gotten shot, there's a lot of fear in the community right now, and there's not a lot of answers.
And at this moment, ICE has not provided any information on why they were conducting a vehicle stop here in Ontario. They also have not released any information on the victim that was shot during that incident. Right now, we're still working on that and providing those further updates as soon as we get them. Natasha, here out of Ontario.
Yeah, and Jorge, these clashes with protesters and federal authorities in California, I know you've been closely tracking them, some of them turning violent. The Justice Department announcing the arrests of 10 individuals for committing violence during anti-ICE protests. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Natasha, we're seeing these clashes between members of the public and ICE officers while conducting these operations, but they've turned pretty violent here in Southern California. So DOJ says right now that 10 defendants are now in federal custody and are facing charges for violence and civil disorder against immigration law enforcement officers while conducting those operations both in Ventura and Los Angeles County. Bill Asaley, the U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, in a new statement saying, quote, "Among those arrested is Asaley Carrillo, who was part of a violent group that attacked and threw rocks at federal agents as they exited the Glass House marijuana farm raid this summer. Peaceful protest is protected. Violence is not. Agitators who harm our officers, agents, and property will be brought to justice." The DOJ is also adding that at least one defendant still remaining a fugitive at this time. Natasha.
Jorge Ventura with that live report out of California today. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.